Everyone take your seats. All right, everybody, let's get started with the afternoon session. All right, thank you very much. A few things mentioned before we get started here with the student leadership panel. I still see a lot of books on that back table over there. I don't want to see those there when the day is over. They are totally free. We printed the one on our own, The Economics of Freedom. They are for you to take for yourself, to give away to group mates, friends, family, anybody you think might be interested in learning more about liberty and free market, so please take them. And that is just a small sampling of what we do here at Students for Liberty. We want to help you in any way we can, to help spread the ideas of liberty. We have tons of free books that we give away on the website, so go check that out. We have speakers you can bring onto campus. And every Monday night, we have an online webinar where we have great speakers, just like Dr. Lark, come on to talk about topics of liberty, both in the ideas and in the practice of how we go about trying to spread them. And also somebody, I think it was Becca on the last panel, mentioned that she went to Freedom Fest and it was a great conference. Well, it just so happens that we have scholarships for our best student leaders to go to Freedom Fest. We brought 15 students last year. They had a great time. They learned a lot. So great networking. I think half of them have job offers now because people they met there. So look for that application on our website, probably to come up sometime in February. So keep your eye on that. So then moving on, we are now coming to the student leadership panel, which is very exciting. This is a staple of all of our conferences that we have at Students for Liberty. A chance for the students to talk to the students about what works best to advance the ideas of liberty on campus. The organization was founded by a group of students. It was not founded to be, the grown-ups telling the kids what to do. So we think the best wisdom comes from the student leaders sharing the best practices. I talk about what works best to advance the ideas of liberty on campus. And we have 4 fantastic student leaders with us here today. They each come from a very experienced and a very diverse background, and they have a lot to share with you. Our first speaker is Clint Townsend from... and he absolutely deserves it. Clint has done a fantastic job. He is the founder and president of the North Texas Young Americans for Liberty. He is also a Students for Liberty campus coordinator. He brought 20 or so people down to this, which is absolutely fantastic. And he's going to be talking about the process of starting a student on campus. So, Clint.
Thank you for that warm welcome. So once again, my name is Clint Townsend. I'm the North Texas Students for Liberty campus coordinator. So when I first got involved in politics in the midst of Ron Paul's presidential campaign in 2007, I saw him on the debates speaking out about foreign policy, and that sort of got me really interested. I soon found a meetup group in my area and found out that they were lacking a leader. Somebody that actually wanted to put their name down as the organizer. So I ended up doing that. I took over the role and led about 20 other people in my community to advance Ron Paul's presidential campaign. I ended up going, continuing that through the Campaign for Liberty, where it eventually became Campaign for Liberty, and I did that until I graduated from high school. After that, I wanted to continue to sort of community organize. I consider myself a community organizer for liberty. Much in the way Barack Obama likes to talk about his community organizing. I think I'm on the right side of this issue. So, I didn't know where to go in college because there weren't any explicitly pro-liberty groups. So, having always sort of sympathized naturally with whoever's in the minority, I found a home in college Republicans. So, I went to their meetings, was very skeptical, and I didn't find anybody initially that shared my beliefs. It was very hard being the only one speaking out on behalf of liberty in these groups, but I knew if I stayed, I would find people, closeted libertarians, and people who did believe in facets of liberty that I could use to help me start a potential group. So I just have a few things that I wanted to bring up in terms of what to do if you are a student on campus and you don't have a group at all. Like if you have to start from scratch, just three main things in terms of preparing yourself for such an endeavor. Facebook is an absolutely vital thing in our society and our culture today. And they talk about Facebook stalking or whatever. I am a master connoisseur of Facebook stalking. And it's true. And anytime I came across anybody that labeled themselves on Facebook or put anti-government rhetoric on their posts, I would write down their name. And literally, I have pages and pages of people in my community who I was going to contact when the time was right. I had to keep it a secret for a long time because I was scared of infiltration from other local groups, people who would want to do harm to the group and sort of quell it at its inception. But what you need to do is you need to, we live in Texas, so the Republican Party seems to be, the most popular thing. And so I sort of, I went to college Republicans meetings. I even went to college Democrats meetings. You need to go to these meetings and try to find people because there are libertarians in these groups. They just don't know where to go. In fact, and I'll confess right now, I am on the executive board of North Texas College Republicans. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I share their beliefs. It's a means for me to say, hey, I have an event, and I'm the events coordinator, which gives me the constitutional authority to say this is what we're doing, and no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You need to search out and listen to student comments in class. When you're in class and you hear people talking about issues and there's discussion, anytime somebody brings up pro-liberty message, talk to them after class, and see if they're interested in helping you with the group. I made a Facebook interest group at first. It was Young Americans for Liberty interest group at UNT. And there were about 50 people, and some of those people ended up being on my executive board when we started last semester. Go to the Libertarian Party events, the Republican Liberty Caucus events, Republican Freedom Coalition, and all these political events, econ societies, and Young Conservatives Texas. These people may not share every belief with us, but what you need is workers. You need people who are going to work for you. It's great to have people that are philosophically sound, but you also need people who are going to be at each meeting, be flyering for you. And I've had a great success in terms of finding good workers. But people want to see that you're dedicated, okay? And if they see that, it's sort of and they see your enthusiasm, they're going to feel that way. I always say that enthusiasm begets enthusiasm. And follow up with contacts early and often. Secondly, so you found your people, you know who you want to help you with your executive board and to be your good members. You need to locate resources and steal good strategies. So sort of the reason I got involved in College Republicans is because I didn't know how campus groups worked. And I needed to know good strategies. What College Republicans does is they have SCREC meetings, State College Republican Executive Committee meetings, and it's held in El Paso, Austin, DFW, and those are the sort of things that we need to replicate. We need to have, like in DC and Philadelphia, they have forums for freedom. I'd like to start a forum for freedom in DFW and bring all the local chapters together, once or twice a semester to see that you're not alone, that you're not, that there's not just, you're not the only student on campus that believes in these ideas. There's others in your area. Contact your Students for Liberty campus coordinators. We have 4 in Texas and we have 1 in Oklahoma. We're here to help you. Students for Liberty has a How to Start a Student Group for Liberty guide. You need to check that out. It's on their website under their resources tab. Another guy in the movement that I contacted when I needed to get sort of the groundwork laid in terms of finding Constitution, learning how to fundraise, was Jared Fuller. He went to Wake Forest University, and he sent me a great PDF file of all these things that he did, gave me a sample Constitution, and that saved immense time. We got finished with all our requirements, finding a professor and all that good stuff within about 1 month, which is really monumental. We moved very quickly and deliberately. And as far as finding a professor, I understand when you start a group, you need an advisor. Most colleges require that. So the Institute for Humane Studies, Bill Glode actually he's a representative, or Isaac Morehouse, you can speak to him. They have a database, a network of professors, of pro-liberty professors that can help you, and they'll send you this list. Nigel Ashford is actually a guy to contact about that, but any of them can help you with finding a professor. Also, so you've got those 3 things that you need to do. Find people, locate resources, and find a good professor. But what do you need to do on a personal level to prepare yourself? You need to invest in yourself. You need to do internships. Institute for Humane Studies has a lot of great internships. Cato offers an internship. But really, look at some of these state-based think tanks. We had a representative from the Texas Public Policy Foundation. They're all over the place. The State Policy Network, they have a free market think tank in every state in the union, and sometimes more than just one. So try to pursue internships. Read also. If you are not reading 1 libertarian book per month, then you're not doing yourself justice. You need to really, and how will you learn? And you have to learn different ways of communicating the ideas of liberty. So go to Cafe Hayek, Lou Rockwell, Mises, and the SFL blog. There's countless blogs out there. And talk to people who know more than you. And lastly, in terms of just building yourself up and becoming a leader, just put it quite simply, be a libertarian. Okay. Leonard Reed said, never lend yourself to an idea that opposes the advancement of liberty. Okay, be philosophically sound. Know your message. Know your philosophy. Try not to label yourself under the confines of conservative or liberal. We're libertarians. We transcend this left-right paradigm. Okay. Libertarians often talk about. Also I've heard this idea of direct political action today. I sort of oppose that notion. I think I agree with Hayek, as most other libertarians sing the praises of Hayek. He wrote an essay called "Intellectuals and Socialism," in which he outlines how social change occurs. He says that you have elite opinion, which filters through popular opinion, which changes into direct political action. Okay, we have to start in academia. We cannot take a shortcut and try to convince politicians to accept our message. It has to be a groundswell, because politicians are always a lagging indicator of what academia is and what subsequently popular opinion is because of that. So don't play politics. Talk about ideas in your group. I think it's relatively meaningless to engage in campaigning. At our group, we try not to do that. In fact, we didn't talk about the election very much at all. We were talking about foreign policy and immigration, a myriad of issues. So I guess I'll just leave it at that, and I look forward to your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Clint. For the politicians in the room, you can stone him afterwards.
Stone our leader? Our leader